Starting now, this is your local news leader, News 10 ABC in the morning.
Good Friday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Arangio.
I'm Ryan Peterson. Here's a look at the stories we're following for you this morning. Breaking news this morning, a fatal crash in Colony, killing a Massachusetts man. What we're learning from police about that right now.
Federal prosecutors asking for prison time for the ex-president of the Capital Region-based sex cult NXIVM. Why they say Nancy Salzman's involvement in the cult warrants a longer sentence.
And Governor Cuomo still has a chance to submit evidence before the release of the Assembly Committee's impeachment report. This is the governor is signing some last-minute bills into law before he steps out of office on Tuesday.
And local efforts underway to help Haiti, still grappling with the aftermath of that major earthquake and the tropical storm moving through. It's part of this morning's Giving on 10, and you can help with this one, being a part of it.
Certainly can.
Thanks for waking up at 10 here on Fox 23. We are looking at another dismal start. Dreary out there, Jill, but improvements coming?
Yes, I know. We're going to get Friday going here over the next couple of hours, but we're about 10 minutes. Mary.
All right, following that breaking news this morning, a fatal crash in Colony. It closed down Central Ave for several hours this morning. It is back open now, and News 10's Juliana Bruno joining us live from the scene. She learned a lot more about the victim and exactly what happened there on Central Ave. Juliana?
Well, Mary, this incident happened at around 1:55 this morning. It was between a vehicle and a box tractor trailer. Apparently, the vehicle struck the back of the tractor trailer when it was stopped at a light. There was a lengthy extrication process to get the 36-year-old man out of that vehicle that crashed into the tractor trailer. Ultimately, though, unfortunately, he succumbed to his injuries and died at the scene. Police say he is not from this area.
Apparently he was staying on Wolf Road and was headed to the airport eventually, but we're trying to get out-of-state relatives at this point.
And police have now identified that victim as Christopher Welter, 36, of Medford, Massachusetts. It's unclear why, but when the tractor trailer was stopped at the light at Jupiter Lane, the man in the vehicle behind didn't stop, kept its speed, and ran into the back of the trailer. The tractor trailer driver was not injured. And the road is clearly reopened here. Colony police are asking if anyone has any information, witnessed the crash perhaps, to give them a call. We'll keep you posted on air and online as we learn more information. The driver of the tractor trailer was not injured. Live in Colony, Juliana Bruno, News 10 ABC.
Juliana, thank you. And there was another crash in Colony overnight, this one on Route 32. The crash itself has been cleared away, but there still is a road closure because that crash brought down a pole as well as wires. So crews still there on the scene of Route 32, both north and southbound lanes closed between Tibbetts Avenue and Elm Street. Let's go out to one of our DOT traffic cameras now. Taking a look at I-87 right at I-90 near exit 24. It looks like we're smooth sailing here despite some more wet roads this morning. Drive times for your major commutes right where they should be, 20 minutes 7 and 6. Download our free News 10 ABC app. You can set up your custom traffic alerts depending on where your commute takes you.
There are only a few days left of the Cuomo administration, but the governor's office will still have a chance to submit evidence to the New York State Assembly Judiciary Committee investigators.
After backlash for ending that impeachment investigation into the governor, the Assembly vowed that they will release their findings to date. Cuomo senior aide Rich Azzopardi releasing a statement saying that the Assembly would still accept a submission, which is imminent, Azzopardi says. Governor Cuomo was given a chance to submit additional evidence in his defense to the Assembly Committee back when the investigation was still ongoing, but announced his resignation before the deadline.
Cuomo signing some last-minute pieces of legislation as well, ahead of this upcoming Tuesday, Monday night into Tuesday, when Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul will officially be sworn to take his place, sworn in. Yesterday, the governor signed two bills, one closing a loophole in New York's labor law to strengthen the rights of workers and protect them against wage theft. Another bill requiring banks to take several actions to prevent overdraft fees.
And Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul will be sworn in as governor on midnight Tuesday the 24th after Governor Cuomo's resignation takes effect officially at 11:59 p.m. Well, new this morning, federal prosecutors are asking for prison time for Nancy Salzman, the ex-president of NXIVM. Prosecutors say government estimated sentencing length for her crimes is 33 to 41 months in prison, and they're asking for the high end on that range. That's because they say Salzman participated in unlawful surveillance of perceived critics and enemies of Keith Raniere and NXIVM, They also say many of NXIVM's teachings, promoted by Salzman, quote, disparaged or humiliated women and blamed victims of abuse. Salzman's sentencing is scheduled for September 8th.
7:03 right now and happening today. A group of New York counties planning to announce a new effort to fight opioid addiction in the state. Albany County Executive Dan McCoy and Rensselaer County Executive Steve McLaughlin will both be at the event at the Rensselaer County office building. And we're going to bring you the latest as we learn more.
Well, your classroom progress report this morning. Schools releasing plans for the fall now. Berkshire County, the North Adams Public School District, is requiring everyone in school buildings to wear a mask. That includes on buses as well. The district says masks will also be required when social distancing is not possible. Those who are excused from wearing one include those who have trouble breathing or cannot remove the mask without assistance. Masks will not be required outside as long as social distancing is maintained. Happening right now, the Troy City School District is reminding parents that if you plan to register your child for remote learning due to a medical condition, you have to complete a preliminary interest survey by today. For the latest classroom progress reports anytime, just log on to the website, news10.com.
The NYPD announcing that they are requiring all unvaccinated officers to wear a mask or face disciplinary action. Spokesperson for the department saying members of the service who are unvaccinated need to wear a mask whether inside or outside department buildings. According to police, only 47% of the force is vaccinated. 59 members of the department have died of COVID-19.
News 10 taking an in-depth look at the tremendous team effort after a local man was rescued from a trench after being stuck there for more than 3 hours. The Colony Trench Rescue Team, the only such team in the capital region, responding when a 50-year-old man repairing a water pipe became trapped in a trench in waist-deep mud in Clifton Park. First responders say rescues like this often take hours, and part of their job is just to make the victims feel comfortable. In this case, the man's leg was bent in a way that made it difficult to pull him out.
It takes on a personal level for everybody in the trench.
So you get kind of close to them and then you kind of bond with them.
The epitome of team effort there was 70 different firefighters playing a role in the rescue. News 10 learning the man is out of the hospital and is doing well. And because of that rescue team, he will stand for his wedding this weekend.
Oh, how fabulous. What a great job that team did. 14-year-old boy charged with criminal possession of a weapon after he tossed a loaded gun while being questioned by police. Police say around 5:15 on Wednesday, a person with a gun was reported in the area of 1st Street and Lexington Avenue. They later found someone matching the description of the suspect on Judson Street. And when he was being stopped, the 14-year-old tossed the loaded gun to the ground. He was arraigned in family court.
One person has been injured after a chemical leak at the Clarendon Swimming Pool Service warehouse on Central Avenue in Colony. Hazmat crews used a forklift to pick up pallets filled with pool chemicals and walked throughout the building to evaluate the spill. The building was evacuated. Only a few people were inside at the time. All right, let's hit good speed now on the other top stories that are trending this morning. Happening today, President Biden expected to provide an update on the evacuation of American citizens, their families, and vulnerable Afghans from Afghanistan. This as it's being reported that U.S. diplomats at the embassy in Kabul warned the administration that the Afghan government was at risk of collapse as the Taliban swept across the country in recent weeks.
The man at the center of a bomb threat that brought the nation's capital to a standstill is now in custody. 49-year-old Floyd Ray Roseberry pulling his truck up to the Library of Congress, telling police he had a bomb, all while live streaming the whole thing. Capitol Police say they did not find a functioning bomb in the truck, but they are looking at whether there may have been bomb-making materials present. Happening now in some parts of the country, reporting a spike in the number of children being hospitalized with COVID. Children's Hospital Colorado says there are 60% more patients in their pediatric ICU than normal. And depending on location, their emergency departments are seeing an increase between 20 to 50%. Health officials continuing to urge eligible adults to get the vaccine and those over the age of 12 to protect everybody else.
Well, days after the first sighting of murder hornets this year, the State Department of Agriculture employees from Washington State and Oregon getting a crash course on how to track and trap those suckers. Thousands of traps baited with orange juice or jam are hung in trees. When one of the hornets is captured, it's fitted with a tiny radio transmitter and released in the hopes that these employees can then follow it back to its nest. Hard to do, that signal goes in and out, but once they get close and identify the nest, it can be destroyed.
Worth a shot.
Yeah. Happening right now, it's opening day at the Great New York State Fair.
Oh yeah, everybody will be back. The fair is back to 100% capacity this year. After, of course, the fair had to be canceled last year due to the pandemic. The fair will run for 18 days this year, and that's the longest ever.
And over the course of that stretch, 50 national touring shows are expected. Performing this year, 98 Degrees, REO Speedwagon, and a member of the Cyrus family I'm not too familiar with, Noah Cyrus, apparently. So there you go. I just love the chocolate milk bar in the dairy building.
Hey, you know what? We need an update on the butter sculpture. We'll let everybody know when we get that, right?
We do. We need to see what it was.
For more on the stories that we cover for you, the latest breaking news, all your top stories, go to our website, news10.com.
7:09 right now, and it's time for Giving on 10.
And we're highlighting the Clifton Park-based nonprofit To Love a Child. The organization setting up a Haiti relief fund to help the country still dealing with the aftermath of that major quake, the devastation it caused, and then the tropical storm that moved through.
The organization says an anonymous donor is willing to match up to $5,000. For more information on how you can give back, how you can donate, check out our website, news10.com.
Here's your chance, right? Let us know how people are giving back where you live. We love sharing these great stories. Send us the information, a photo, some video to news@news10.com. That's how you can email us, or you can post it on social media and use that hashtag #GivingOn10. Immunocompromised Americans, as we've mentioned, have been given the green light to get those booster shots.
That's got some New York cancer patients rolling up their sleeves once again. Why they say getting a third shot is so important.
And a team effort to rescue a miniature horse named Thunder. How this little guy is doing this morning after getting stuck in a septic tank in Pittstown.
And to the track today, time's typical. Gates at 11, first post 105. Your featured race today is the Skidmore.
You're watching News 10 ABC, your local news leader, with Christina Arangio, Ryan Peterson, Mary Wilson, and meteorologist Jill Swed.